Hello everyone, welcome to my online classes. I'm Javed Nehal and today we are going to analyze a poem, The Solitary Reaper. Now, the poem The Solitary Reaper is written by William Wordsworth. So we are going to first take a very quick look at the life and the works of the poet William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is an English poet. He was born on 17th April in the year 1770. The most notable works of William Wordsworth are An Evening Walk and Descriptive Sketches, Lyrical Ballads, Poems in 2 volumes, which was published in the 1807, and the other famous works are Daffodil and Lines Written on Immortality. The poetry collection, The Prelude, which is a semi-autobiographical poem of his early years, is considered to be his magnum opus. Wordsworth was appointed Poet Laureate in the year 1843, which he remained until his death. He died on 23rd April 1850 and was buried at St. Oswald Church in Grasmere. Now, the poem Solitary Reaper is actually a lyrical ballad. A lyrical ballad is traditional verse written in most simple and common speech. The themes used in lyrical ballads are simple matters of everyday life. A lyrical ballad is considered poetry for common man, designed to impart pleasure while retaining a standard of literary quality. Now, if we look at the structure of this poem, then we find that this poem consists of 32 lines, and these 32 lines are divided into 4 stanzas of 8 lines. Now, a lyrical ballad is always very strong and consistent in rhyme and rhythm. So we will first check the rhyme and the rhythm of this poem. Now, rhyme is the recurrence of similar ending sounds at the end of poetic lines. If we analyze the first stanza of the poem, then we find the first line of the first stanza ends with the word field. The next line, yon solitary highland lass, ends with the word lass. Now here lass and field are not a matching sound. The next line is reaping and singing by herself. Now again herself is not matching with the words gone before. Stop here or gently pass. Now here in the fourth line we find that lass and pass are actually matching sound. They are the rhyming words. Next, alone she cuts and binds the grain. Now, grain is again a new word, a new sound, and sings a melancholy strain. Now, grain and strain have a matching sound here. Oh, listen, for the well profound is overflowing with the sound. Now here the words having a matching sounds are profound and sound. Now if we replace this color coded words with the letter of the alphabet, we find that it has something like this: A, B, C, B, D, D, E, E. So we can say that the rhyme scheme of this first stanza is A, B, C, B, D, D, E, E. And this is not just only the rhyme scheme of the first stanza. If we analyze all the other 3 stanzas, you will find that they have consistently the same rhyme scheme. Now next we are moving to the meter of the poem. Now what is a meter? A meter is a measure of rhythmic quantity organized into group of syllables at regular intervals in a line of poetry. Now here the word syllables is important. Now what is syllables? A syllable is a single distinct and uninterrupted sound of one or more letters pronounced by a single effort of the voice. Now in order to just make it very understandable to you, I am going to give you some example. Let's say the word ever. Now you see it's a one word, but if we analyze that, you will find that this one word has 4 letters, and this 4 letters comes in 2 distinct sounds. Okay, they have been designed to sound like this ever. So this is 2 syllables, ever. Similarly, the word thrilling has also 2 syllables, thrilling. The next word is Hebrides, and Hebrides have 3 syllables. The word nightingales have 3 syllables in it, and familiar has also 3 syllables. Now the words at number 6 and 7 are very interesting. You will find that both the words are same, but what is the difference between them? Whatever has three syllables and we pronounce it as whatever. Okay, each syllable must be sounded well. But in case of this word, we don't call it whatever. We say whatever. In two syllables, it should be pronounced whatever. The next word is melancholy, which again has three syllables. Now you can check it yourself how many syllables each line has. If you have some difficulties, you can visit the website www.howmanysyllables.com. I have provided the link in the description box. Now you will notice that each line of the first stanza has 8 syllables. The unit of meter is foot, which is made of 2 syllables known as iamb. In case there being only one iamb, we call it monometer. If it has 2 iamb, we call it diameter. In case of 3, it is trimeter. In case of 4 iamb, it is tetrameter. And in case of 5 iambs, it is pentameter. If you look at these lines here, we find that there are 8 syllables. That means there are 4 iambs, which makes it an iambic tetrameter. Now let's make line by line analysis of this poem. Wordsworth once said, all good poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. And we find a deep reflection of this in his poem, The Solitary Reaper. The spontaneity of the inspiration for the poem came to him during his visit to Scotland in the year 1803. During a visit to Scottish Highland and while passing through a valley, William Wordsworth came across a young girl. She was all alone in the field. It was harvest time and she was reaping corn. While cutting and binding grain, she was also singing a sweet song. The opening stanza describes the whole scene. Now, one important thing that you will notice in the first stanza is that Wordsworth emphasizes a lot on the girl's solitude. He conveys the sense of solitude to the readers through numerous words and phrases. He uses no less than 4 different and synonymous words such as single, solitary, by herself, and alone to emphasize it. Now you may wonder why poet is dwelling on so much with the idea of the girl's solitude. Well, when we think or talk about nature, the things that come to our minds are trees, mountains, rivers, landscape, this sort of thing. We hardly regard human as quintessential part of nature. However, in Wordsworth's conception, man is not to be seen apart from the nature. Wordsworth does not see the appearance of a human form, such as the solitary reaper in this picturesque valley, at conflict or at odd with nature. On the contrary, the reaper girl in solitude looked intrinsic and inalienable part of it. She also blended and merged well with the beautiful and rustic life of countryside. The poet says, behold her single in the field. You hear the first line, the poet draws the attention of the other, most probably his companion during the trip, and he urged him to behold, to look at the girl, single in the field. Yon solitary Highland lass, over there you can see this Scottish Highland girl, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. He's asking his companions whether they should stop to hear more of that beautiful song or should pass quietly so that the girl was not disturbed. Now next he says, alone she cuts and binds the grain. She is all alone working in the field and sings a melancholy strain. While she is working in the field, she is singing a melodious song which has some element of sad and sorrow in it. The poet noticed that a deep valley seemed to be singing in chorus with her. So in the first stanza we find that the girl was working and singing a song at the same time. She was all alone and her song was not a very joyous one. It had melancholy and sad tune in it. Be whatever it may, the poet felt the song was completely in tune and in harmony with the melody of nature. The young girl, all alone, rapping and singing in a picturesque valley, created an aura of mystery and magic, and the poet got mesmerized with it. The poet was enchanted with the sweet, melodious notes of the girl song. In order to bring out the mesmerizing and unique quality of the song, the poet compared it to the sweet singing of the two original songsters of nature, that is, the nightingale and the cuckoo. Now, these two birds are known for their sweet singing and are liked by all and sundry. Nightingales are famous for their welcoming notes to travelers in hot Arabian desert. Their sweet, welcoming notes refreshes the tired and weary limbs of jaded travelers in the Arabian deserts. Similarly, the sweet notes of cuckoo birds announces the arriving spring in the farthest islands of the Hebrides. It breaks the silence of the sea and fills every heart with joy and delight. The poet, however, felt the song of the solitary reaper was more welcoming and thrilling than those of the nightingale and cuckoo birds. The poet could not understand the lyrics of the song, as the girl was singing in a language unknown to him. He wondered if anyone could help him to understand what the reaper's song was all about. He then took a guess himself and presumed that the song related to some ordinary, old, sad, or far off things, or like some battle fought long ago. It could also be about some ordinary things of life and some natural sorrow or loss of parting from near and dear ones or other pains which are common and recurring in nature. In the last stanza, we find that the girl's song did not seem to have an ending. The poet saw her singing at her work and over the sickle bending. She continued to work in the field and at the same time continued to sing. And the poet stood there motionless and still. However, he could not stay there any longer and had to leave. But before he mounted up the hill and left the place, he carried the sweet music of the solitary reaper's song in his heart. The song of the solitary reapers continued to ring in his mind and heart, thus becoming a joy forever. With this, we come to the end of the session. Thank you for watching my show. If you have any suggestion or query in this regard, you can write directly to me. My email address is javednehal@ymail.com. For more information, please visit my website, the link of which has been given in the description box. You can also subscribe my YouTube channel for the latest updates.